You won't believe what they're trying to pull now. Hey everybody, M.A. Baxter here. My friends call me Andy, so I hope you do too. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I had an excellent weekend. I was off from work. I had the opportunity to meet who I believe is going to become my future son-in-law. Super nice young man. I'm very pleased to have welcomed him into our lives. We're doing a great job, people, with the Anheuser-Busch boycott. We really need to keep the pressure up. Anheuser-Busch is really feeling the pinch now, and I think the more successful this boycott is, which is already the most successful boycott in the history of boycotts, the more successful it is, the more other companies are going to see this, and they're going to start trying to just mind their own business. You know, if I make hamburgers, I'm going to make good hamburgers, and I'm going to serve hamburgers to anybody who wants to buy a hamburger. And I'm going to treat my employees well. I'm going to treat my customers like gold, and there you go. I'm not going to worry about anything else. That's my job. But anyways, let's keep up the good work on that. Spread the news, everybody. Anheuser-Busch and any of their subsidiary products, let's stay away from them. But while we're doing this, something else has kind of happened that we need to pay attention to. We don't need to just have blinders on Anheuser-Busch, and I'm not too sure if everybody's aware of it. But at the end of last month, the central bank released and initiated what they call the central bank digital currency. It's a digital dollar. They're wanting to replace good old paper money and coins, and no longer have that. That won't be a factor, and everything's going to be digital. They're doing it for our convenience. It's not as if everybody have debit cards and we can use them now anyways, or credit cards, whatever. But they want us to completely do away with paper money. It's gone. Every transaction will be recordable at that point. You won't be able to go to somebody down at the end of the street who is selling donuts to try to raise money for their high school marching band and buy a dozen donuts and give them a 20, even though the donuts is $5 or whatever, and give them a 20 to help out your local marching band. Or when the firefighters come around, I don't know how they do it in your area, but once every 6 months or so they'll have a program where they call Fill the Boot. They'll stand at the roadsides and you donate to your volunteer fire department, and they try to fill their rubber boots up with cash. And it's a real neat fundraising thing. All that's going to go away with the digital currency. In fact, it's going to get to the point, and in Great Britain, where they've introduced this as well. Throughout Europe, they've introduced it, in fact. But in Great Britain, the Prime Minister was saying, he was touting the fact that if you give your kids an allowance and you don't want them to be able to buy ice cream with their allowance, you can turn that off in their digital currency. They could spend it on fruit, but they couldn't spend it on ice cream. Now let's, project that over into modern adults in America. Let's say, I don't know, there's some administration or some powers that be that don't want you to buy a pistol or want you to buy ammunition for your rifle, or don't want you to buy a beer. They determine that you have drank too many beers this month. They can turn that off in your money so that you can't buy a beer with your money that you've earned. They can turn off your money so that you can't buy ammunition for a rifle that you legally and ethically and morally and take care of and everything. You're the greatest rifle owner on the planet, but you shouldn't have a rifle because rifles are bad. But they're going to turn that off. And it's giving ultimate control to a group of unelected bureaucrats, and they're not even bureaucrats. The central bank has no connection whatsoever to our government. They're not government officials whatsoever. So that's a big thing that we need to try to do something to offset and to combat, I guess. It's even gotten to the point in Europe. I was listening to on the podcast Redacted with Clayton Morris. Excellent podcast, by the way. That in Europe, where they have started enacting these digital dollars replacing the euro with digital euros, that if you get caught spending cash over $1,000 or $1,000 or more in cash, if you make a purchase of $1,000 or more in cash, you can be fined and you can go to prison because cash is becoming illegal. It's going to become against the law, or it already is in Europe. It's against the law to have cash. And furthermore, if you are somebody who is trying to be financially responsible, I try to save my money. I'm not fanatical about it. I know people who are fanatical about it, save every penny that they got. Your digital dollars can expire in your bank. After they reach a certain age, they'll just disappear. If you haven't used them and spent them by, whatever predetermined time range they're looking at, your money's going to go away. It's just poof, it's gone. Too bad. Sorry, you should have bought something that we wanted you to buy, of course. Not something that we turned off, like ammunition, alcohol, whatever. But regardless, what we need to do, and we need to start now. Everybody needs to start now. You really need to do it today. You need to tell your friends about it, make your own YouTube video, make a Facebook post, do something. You need to contact your representative. That's the only tool we have right now in our arsenal. That's the only tool. Our banks are starting, the smaller banks are starting to collapse nationwide now. It's going to get worse. That's going to be the impetus for initiating this whole thing and really getting if you had digital currency, it wouldn't matter if your bank collapsed. But that's where they're going. But contact your representative, your congressman, your senator. Look them up online. If you can't find their information, their contact information online, give them a call. I got the number right here. It's area code 202-224-3121. That will get you to the White House switchboard. You can then ask to speak to your congressman or your representative. They will connect you to their office. You usually have to leave a message, but someone within a few days normally will reach back out to you. If you send them an email, you're normally going to have somebody reach back out to you, and it's rarely your congressman or your senator that reaches back out to you. It's one of the flunkies that work for them. But if enough people bombard, the Senate, if enough people bombard the Congress and they know that this is going to be a problem, they know that their constituents are not happy about this, we may be able to see some change happening. We know we can make change happen together. We're doing it right now with Anheuser-Busch. We can do it with our government. We just have to work together. And that is, in getting sentimental here, I guess, but in my world, that's what America is. We have people of diverse backgrounds, even diverse ideology, can come together to enact change for the betterment of this nation. We do not need a centralized digital currency. I'm very much in favor of a decentralized currency such as Bitcoin, or decentralized digital currency, I should say. Bitcoin, I have no problem with. No one owns Bitcoin. If we go to a strictly digital dollar, next thing is going to come is a social scoring structure. If you're a bad guy, guess what? We're going to take some of your money. If you're speeding down the road 1 mile an hour over the speed limit and a camera sees you, bam, they're just going to automatically deduct the money out of your account, whether or not somebody was riding on your tail or not, or whatever the circumstance was. I'm not an advocate for breaking the law. I'm not saying we need to get away from following the laws. I'm just saying it's going to let them reach into your life in unexpected and unimaginable ways. Anyways, pay attention to it. Contact your representatives. Let them know you're very concerned about it, that there needs to be some sort of protections for the American people. And if they fail to do so, hey, let's go back to trading gold. They can't shut gold down. That had been a standard for a long time, and it can become a standard again. I'm understanding that, like in Argentina, Bitcoin and gold is what people are trading in now, because the Argentinian money is worth less than toilet paper. So anyway, folks, that's all I got for you today. I hope it wasn't too depressing. Pay attention to these things. This stuff is very important. Contact your representative, and I will try to make another video here real soon. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed. Thank you to everybody who's been watching my last few videos. Love you guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye.